Turkey, Excellency Sayyid Naveed Qamar, Minister for Commerce, Pakistan, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, members of Turkish Trade Delegation, members of Pakistan's Chamber of Commerce, government officials, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Today we have signed a landmark agreement by the name of Trade in Goods Agreement between Pakistan and Turkey, and this is one of the most important achievements of Minister for Commerce Sayyid Naveed Qamar and his team, and Brother Mehmet Mus and his team, under the guidance of President Tayyip Erdogan and support from Government of Pakistan. This trade and goods agreement will now reflect the strength of our brotherhood and our internal relations. Our brotherly relations are anchored in mutual trust, mutual respect, and of course spanning over hundreds of years. But our trade and investment volume didn't do justice to this unique relationship between two countries around the globe. Today, this agreement will inshallah pave the way for our future business relations, and subject to efforts from both sides, supported by business community from both sides, I have no doubts that in time to come, our relations in terms of trade and investment will touch much higher heights. We have already agreed, and today I believe this is also spelled out, that in the next 3 years we will increase our bilateral trade by $5 billion. Brother Mehmet is smiling. It's a solid proof that this will happen. During my visit to Turkey in the month of May, we were given a very warm welcome over there by President Tayyip Erdogan, my brother and a very visionary leader, and we had very fruitful and productive discussions with business community over there, and agreed to meet in Ankara again and in Islamabad to further our discussion. And here we are, within a span of less than 2 months, Turkish delegation is here, as desired by President Tayyip Erdogan, and we have inked this agreement a while ago. But now I would like to address my Turkish business brothers and sisters and Pakistani business community that here is an opportunity that we must catch upon. Turkey has tremendous experience in constructing hydel power projects, and Turkey has done this in Turkey and outside Turkey. They have great experience and expertise. We would welcome Turkish companies to come and invest in Pakistan in hydel power generation, because by the grace of God Almighty, we have been bestowed upon infinite sources of hydel power generation in the north of Pakistan, which remain unexplored as I speak. So I would invite Turkish firms. I've just spoken to Brother Mehmet, because if Turkey's import bill has touched $100 billion to finance their fuel and energy imports, which is probably unprecedented in the last, or probably in Turkish history. So is the case with us in Pakistan. This year, we have touched more than $20 billion, which we can hardly afford. Even though the prices have started dipping down, but then they are still hovering around $95, $98, and this is still a price which Pakistan cannot afford to pay. And therefore, if we must immediately engage ourselves in exploring alternative sources of energy, hydel power generation I've just explained, and renewables, solar, wind power, and by the grace of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has again been infinitely kind upon Pakistan, having given great resources in this field, which remain largely unexplored. Of course, we have raised something like 500 to 600 megawatts in solar energy and a few hundred megawatts in wind power, mainly in the province of Sindh, in Jampir. Yes, thank you, Jampir. But then we have been discussing in the last few months, while we were also dealing with very serious challenge of putting our economy, first protecting it from getting out of control. We are, by the grace of God, we've been able to save our economy from a serious default. That is, of course, out of our way, but still there's a long way to go. And we are negotiating with all those problems on the way. It's very difficult, but not impossible. Coming back to the point, solar energy is the order of the day. We have discussed it at length in the last couple of months. And today I have a final meeting to take find the scenes as to which are going to be our low-hanging fruit, like two wells to be run by solar energy, for example, like about 5,000 to 6,000 megawatts of solar parks through public-private partnership, solar panels for poor households, solarization of government offices. These are main areas where we can literally, go running and achieve our targets and win medals like our young and enterprising sportsmen have won medals in Birmingham. And this is where we can be counted and create a difference between the past and today and tomorrow. I have spoken to Brother Mehmet. He is more than willing, and I've conveyed a message to my brother, President Tayyip Erdogan, through him, to send Turkish manufacturers, come investors in these fields to Pakistan, if not yesterday, today and tomorrow. And I will personally play host to them. I will sit down with them, will not leave this matter to our very efficient and outstanding bureaucracy, but I will invite our outstanding bureaucrats and sit with our concerned ministers and find out a model where, without losing a second, we really start implementing these projects, which will, at the end of the day, save Pakistan's billions of dollars, I would say, and use the word wasted, in financing our very expensive fuel, which is now making fool out of ourselves. We cannot afford this kind of bill of $20 billion in a year. I mean, our economy is bleeding. So it is my first and foremost duty to interact with all those partners in this field, in Turkey, in Islamic world, in Europe, in North of America, South Asia, Far East, wherever we can tap in our friends and partners in this field. That will be a great service to the people of Pakistan. And I would guarantee swift payments, whether they are profits or whatever, through swift arrangements to potential investors without any recourse, without any reference. No authority will be referred to. The State Bank of Pakistan or the concerned bank will transfer sums of monies, of profits or whatever, installments to that investor in these areas. Hydropower generation, solar and wind. And secondly, it will be all free of bottlenecks, no red tapeism, and I will myself be the chief executive officer for these investments in Pakistan. So I think, my brothers and sisters, excellencies, this is what I want to say after inking this agreement, that this is the way forward. let us put our act together and join our energies and our resources to protect our countries from ever-expanding import bill of energy, and spend our resources and commit our energies to promote these very competitive and oil-free sources of energy to make our industry, our agriculture competitive and to sustain our economies. This is the surest way forward, none other. And this is what I would like to keep on repeating, even at the cost of repetition, that this is the surest way forward and none other. Thank you very much, my brother, for your visit to Pakistan. And as indicated by Brother President Erdogan, that this delegation will be in Pakistan soon as possible. You have really demonstrated that will and commitment. Thank you, Qamar Saab. You have done a great job. Sayyid Naveed Qamar.